This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy!
It's coming from the deep, dark recesses of the mind of Mel Brooks. I love him. Young Frankenstein!
Life, you hear me? Give my creation life!
Sky means business.
Starring Gene Wilder as Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Peter Boyle as the monster. Marty Feldman as Igor.
My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh!
Cloris Leachman as Frau Blucher. And Madeline Kahn as Elizabeth.
What are you going to do to me? I'm not afraid of you.
Kill the monster!
See Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
Yes, I think we could all use a good laugh.
But don't see it alone. Don't miss Young Frankenstein, personally directed by Mel Blazing Saddles Brooks, in black and white. No offense.
Hello there.
Thank you for checking out this episode of I Dig Crazy Flicks with Cat Bus Russ. I am your host, Cat Bus Russ. This is a panel that was done at Indiana Comic-Con about the feature Young Frankenstein, where myself and the official magician of Disney, Paul Draper, it's a lot of us trying to just get the crowd into it, so forgive the audio because a lot of the crowd wanted to interact, but it's not like they gave us a lot of microphones. That's what I do like about panels, is when they have a microphone so people can ask questions. But, I digress. Had a lot of fun doing that, and thank you very much, Paul, for hopefully giving me that celebrity rub. I mean, Paul believes that Mel Brooks listens to the podcast, so hopefully Max can get us a new comedy at some point. With that said, let me go and thank my Patreon subscribers. That's Tim Bates. You can find him on the Arena and Night of the Demons episodes of 90 for Chill, and AAW interviewer, backstage interviewer, former interviewer, and contributor to the original Wrestling Compadre Slamcast, The Scoop Staley. They pay me $3 a month. They get themselves a waterproof sticker and that shout out, and they also get access to the archives from the original feed on Podbean. That's all on patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlix. If you're not going to give me the $3 a month, then give it to Ava the Queen Kitty. You can't deny royalty. Thank you, Station Marie Harden and Skimble Shanks the One-Eared Angel, for keeping an eye on me, keeping me out of too much trouble, and I hope you're doing the same for everybody else you touched in your life. If you want to be on the show, send an email to rustthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. Offer me a movie, a theme, a director, an actor. I like them between 70 and 100 minutes, but as long as it's bonkers, I'm willing to give you 40 minutes on Zoom at the very least. Follow me on my social medias at CatBusRuss on Instagram and Blue Sky preferably. And I don't think I have too much more to say, just rushing this out because I'm going to be having a conversation with Gregory Carl in a few minutes. So hopefully I'll get this up before my Wednesday deadline. Thanks for checking out I Dig Crazy Flicks, and have yourself a good time.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
So some of the panels have people that are experts in what it is they're talking about, right? Some of them have people that are celebrities that were in the things. Some of the panels are just people who are fans of the things, who are experts and famous in other areas, and so I think that's important to know. My background, I'm the official magician for Disneyland. I just did a big event for the Imagineers yesterday. That's why I wasn't here. I used to be a professor of anthropology. I've taught at Yale and at Cambridge. But other than that, I have no connection to the film, though I really like it. And so this is more of a moderated panel of us discussing. And you are a famous panelist.
I wouldn't. Well, I'm hosting my podcast tomorrow at 4 p.m. I can't remember the room. My podcast is I Dig Crazy Flicks, where if it's crazy, I will. If it has bonkers elements, I'll talk about it. I do like to focus on movies between 70 and 100 minutes. I just find that to be the ideal runtime. Sometimes you, like if you're late at night, you don't want to watch a series because you're going to end up binging it and lose all your hours, and you just definitely don't have the energy to watch a Scorsese movie. So that's my background. I was considered a film expert in my junior college, Illinois Central College in East Peoria, out of Champaign, Illinois, and so I've done a lot of criticism for a while, gotten the podcasting because nobody reads anymore.
So my show is tomorrow in the Washburn Ballroom at today at 8 p.m. in the Washburn Ballroom. So that's where you get to see my expertise. If you come to that at 8 p.m. But today we're moderating a panel with us as fans of this film, rather than being experts in one way or the other. But let's start. If you're ready, why do you love it? Why are you here?
Oh, I mean, it's just I find it very hard not to love Mel Brooks. There's always some element you can get behind. I had my last girlfriend. She was always a little like. I don't know if it's he was one of the earliest, I'd say, comic minds where you would almost feel a little embarrassed if you're, like, you want to watch this movie with people just so you know it's okay to laugh. 1974, big year for, probably his most prolific year for Mel Brooks. He also had Blazing Saddles the same year. Now, my personal favorite Mel Brooks movie is The Original Producers. I do know a lot of people...
Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, or Gene Wilder as well. Right?
Yes. I have never, and I still haven't watched the musical version, which is a little crazy because my family's got a trend, kind of a ancillary, I think might be the word, relationship with the Barrowman family. So I do need to watch it just for the John Barrowman's Ubermensch performance.
So Gene Wilder in that film did that wonderful thing where he says, "Don't jump on me! You're gonna jump on me!" And every film role he got offered immediately after that was to do that character again. And he turned down everything. He didn't want to be typecast. Versus Harrison Ford, who is always Harrison Ford. But Gene Wilder went, no, once I do something as a character, I'm not doing that thing again. And this movie was one that Gene Wilder pitched with to Gene Roddenberry, and they worked together to make it.
No, I was aware of that. This one, this I think really shows is probably the core of Mel Brooks' casting. Like, we were talking, just getting used to it. Like, everybody's gone by this point now. After Gene Hackman passed away a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, maybe Terry Garr, and then our gentleman with the con, working for the con.
Last year, we lost Terry Garr.
So,
but we still have Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
for a little bit more.
At this point, I don't know. A
little bit.
I kind of think, like, it was with Betty White. I kind of thought she was doing the Highlander thing, being the last. There could be only one, and it's because I think she was probably the oldest in the cast to begin with.
Yeah.
On that.
So, did you know that the only fight that Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks ever had was in this film? The musical number. And so Mel Brooks said he didn't, for those of you that didn't know, the Putting on the Ritz, Mel Brooks wasn't sure that it was going to be funny. He wanted to cut it. He didn't think people would like it. He thought it was too long. It's hard when you're shooting film versus like the Marx Brothers would shoot all of their stuff. They'd perform it live for live audiences. Then they'd shoot it. So they had a sense of what the audience liked. When you're making something in a film on a set, you don't know. You're not sure. And so Mel Brooks wanted to cut it, and Gene Wilder actually raised his voice, screamed, got angry, got upset, wanted this to happen. And eventually Mel Brooks gave in, and he said, because if he's that upset about it, I'm not going to say no. I believe him.
Well, it is and he ends up being right. But that's all I think on Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
I mean, because if Peter Boyle did not do right. That would have been a wasted number.
Right.
So.
Another Gene Wilder, you must do it this way or I'm out, was in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, his opening scene. It was not written that he did the little flip at the start, but he said, if I don't do this, I'm not doing it. In the same way that the fellow that played not Draco Malfoy, but his dad, Isaacson, he said, Jason Isaac? He said, if I don't get the long wig and the robe, I'm not going to be this wizard. And so it's wonderful when, Tom Hanks was recently asked what's the best advice he can give an actor. And his answer was, show up on time, which means show up early. Have your lines memorized and have an idea. Have some idea of what you would like, and be willing to, if the director says no, but have ideas. Don't just come in as a blank slate, tabula rasa, right?
Well, I think that's just, and Tom Hanks, probably the most professional of actors, he's got 2 Oscars to his credit, but it seems like now people are really big on the improv aspect, like it's a funny joke in Tropic Thunder where Robert Downey Jr. is at, Jay Baruchel. You've read the script, right?
Yeah.
No, the script reads me.
Yes.
And so it's nice to hear about people who stick to it. I know Tarantino's very much like, no, you are reading my dialogue. Right. But the minds of Mel Brooks, you can only imagine that they are going to a Hackman and Boyle scene.
Right.
I know a lot of that was all improv.
All made up as they went.
Was it?
Yes. Definitely I was gonna make espressos line. It was definitely Hackman.
So they decided to do it in homage to the classic horror films. They liked the original Frankenstein movie, right? And who's the monster, really? And did it in black and white, even though films in that time were coming out in color, right? And so who knew that this thing was going to be a success? I mean, it was made at a modest budget. It was about $2 million, $2.5 million to make it, yet made back $86 million. And so what film makes that kind of from there to there? For us, for you and me, 2 million is an unreachable number. But for them, two, not for you, you can produce it. But from 2 to 86, one of the most successful comedies of all time. Comedies don't usually make that much money. Why do you think this is the one that did?
Well, Mel Brooks hadn't missed yet.
Yeah.
At least I can't recall, because I'd have to look through his IMDb, but the producers he won his only Oscar for.
Right.
So, and then you have him with Wilder. So, now I'm thinking oh shoot, why couldn't he come up with a spot for Spaceballs?
No.
Yogurt. I'm sorry.
13 Chairs was kind of.
Which one?
13 Chairs.
13 Chairs.
Okay.
I never even saw that one.
Okay.
Oh, bad.
Not bad.
No, I was talking financial misses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the movie after The Producers.
Oh. Everybody deserves to fail.
Oh, you get your blank check.
He really didn't make any money on The Producers.
Oh no, it's all.
Because it was just an art house film.
Right.
You know who would have made the movie even funnier?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Who?
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor would have made that movie even funnier.
Well, he wrote Blazing Saddles, and if it wasn't for Pryor, that movie would not have worked.
Yeah.
Because he fought for, they say, so many people make the argument you can't make Blazing Saddles today, and no, you can't. You can make a movie like that. But you have your humor has to be so solid that you knock it out of the park. You can't afford to miss.
Richard Pryor was in Blazing Saddles?
No, he was the writer. He was the Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers said, okay, yeah, we'll let him on, but we'll let him write, but he was supposed to be the star.
You have to see him in
Who was the star?
Live on, Cleavon Little, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true too, but and I don't think you'd have the subtlety to pull off the the Black Bart.
But to tie it in this film, I mean, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder went on to be best friends and make amazing films. I mean, they didn't hang out a lot off set, they said, but they on set they made real beautiful magic. I mean, see no evil, hear no evil, and I mean, they were really funny.
Silver Streak, Stir Crazy. I think Silver Streak may have come before the Brooks collaboration.
Right.
So that's so as I say, again, I was just pulling up his Brooks's IMDb, and then I realized, he was in Putney Swope. Jeez, how did I miss that? But again, you said art house film was the producers, and Putney Swope is definitely art house. Definitely worth a watch. Again, my dad's favorite movie is actually Putney Swope, another comedy that, they couldn't make that today. And it's like, no, you just can't afford to miss. And even in the 70s, I think that was the case. The 80s was a weird time. That was like, the time of Young Duck Dong and...
and Never-Ending Story in The Flight of the Navigator. You could make that stuff.
Right. But, yeah... So I don't think comedy is being neutered at all. You just have to know how to. You just can't afford to miss. It's more high stakes, which honestly I think makes for better product anyhow.
So we
Putney Swope, Putney, Swope, SWOPE. That's a movie about an ad firm that's failing. The head executive dies at the board meeting, and the first thing they do is, who are we going to place to replace him? And the bylaws of the committee says you have to have a vote, but you cannot vote for yourself. So everybody decides to write down Putney Swope as their answer, because nobody's going to vote for the black guy. And
I'm making a list of these movies.
So it's actually directed.
We're showing up just for the list.
Yeah. It's directed by Robert Downey Sr. On top of that, so yeah.
He made at least one thing that was really great. Junior.
Yes.
Minted. So Mel Brooks made a cameo in this, and as we know, makes cameos in lots of films as the blind man coming upon the monster of Frankenstein. Oh, that was Gene Hackman.
Yeah, that was Hackman.
What did
I don't recall Brooks actually.
Brooks was he was one of the villagers.
Yeah, he's in it.
Trying to get things boarded up.
That's right.
Their daughter ran into the monster and
That's right.
flew in the window.
That's right. Oh, mix up and so he made cameos. What do you think about directors Stan Lee famously did it in all the films?
Well,
it's good to be Mel Brooks.
Well, Mel Brooks was a lot deeper. It's not like Alfred Hitchcock, where do I walk on?
Yeah. He gets to play the Yoda.
Yes, yeah. Yogurt. And I would say other actors or directors like that. I think the most recent one really is James Gunn, and it's not James Gunn. He just has his brother Sean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan, and yeah, I want if his movie is a bad one, I want to know who I want that face that I know I want to throw darts at.
Yeah, right.
So maybe that's a good thing for directors that put their face out there.
Very few directors with cameos are as fun as that.
No, it's Mel Brooks is I think it was all I think that we could have probably had more Mel Brooks if he would not have directed. He would not have had Leslie Nielsen as Dracula. That's my stance. Like, I think Dracula Dead and Loving. It's a fun movie, but no, Leslie Nielsen was. They were riding that stunt casting. Like, Leslie Nielsen has 2 roles in modern cinema: Frank Drebin and the doctor on Airplane. Just don't call him Shirley.
Yes, but such a good leading man in Forbidden Planet.
Oh yes. Oh no, in Creep Show, where he's killing Ted Danza.
Right.
Not Ted. Yeah, Ted Danson. Yep.
So good, you came. So why did you come to a panel on Young Frankenstein? What do you want to talk about?
About a movie that was an homage to the Universal things. And it was a character. You really want to make a comedy about this, and in the words of Gene Wilder, it could work.
The funny thing about it being an homage to Universal monsters is I believe it was 20th Century Fox, may have been Warner Brothers. I know my DVD 2-pack of Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. It gets weird with rights nowadays. It's probably Brooks Films, and he'll give it to whoever. That's going to save physical media. Is basically boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome, Criterion, Anchor, and Kino. But when I'm thinking of homage to the Universal monsters, without being a Universal movie, they had to go and ask permission to use the Frankenstein with the bolts in his neck. And I think maybe Monster Squad was the only other movie I can think of where it's not a Universal movie with the bolts in the neck. Like you go to, and granted, if you want an authentic Frankenstein, it's definitely not that. Say Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro, and I saw the English production, the Royal Theatre production, where it was an interesting concept because they had basically they kept swapping the leads roles. So one night I saw it with Benedict Cumberbatch as the monster, and Johnny Lee Miller as Frankenstein.
So this was a production that actually followed Shelley's story?
Yes. It was directed by Danny Boyle, of all people, as well. So again, blank check projects. This would have been right after Slumdog Millionaire. And then other nights it'd be Miller, and I saw it in a movie theater, and they showed the making of stuff behind the scenes. And other nights it's Johnny Lee Miller as the monster and Cumberbatch as the creator. It's an interesting experiment, and it kind of shows that I think we are just programmed. I mean, the influence of the Universal monsters has just programmed us. Like, no, tall guy, bolts in the neck, and it's the only real successful formula, at least on the big screen.
So what do we think of the Emma Stone Frankenstein? Where just had Poor Thing. That was an homage to Frankenstein. Here's this human being without a brain pieced together, trying to find their place in the world anew.
Well, of course we don't call it Frankenstein. Right. That's a real trick of creativity. I'm just a Yorg. I have not gotten around to it. I've bought it and everything. I'm a Yorgos Lanthimos. I hope I pronounced that right. Fan, like The Lobster and The Favorite. So I think he's just got his muse in Emma Stone. So I'm very confident in that film.
That it will be good.
And never mind just watching the trailers, the lines, Mark Ruffalo being a good foil, Willem Dafoe.
But I think it's interesting. Yeah, please.
Is it wouldn't the maker of William Defoe be more the Frankenstein?
Yes, the Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes. So who's the monster really?
Who's the monster? Right. But the monster. What's interesting is of course the monster's not at fault. The monster is a baby in a giant human body trying to figure out the world in the same way that we have what is it in George and the rabbits, and he's not a monster.
Right? No, he's Abby Normal.
Right. Right.
That's
Abby Normal, the brain. Which one did you get? Not the genius. So yeah. Roll the hay. As a teenager, I must admit that was my favorite scene. As a teenager.
Well, it's a great setup. On top of that, the creation wakes, and they immediately have to do the charades. Sedative. And then you have the entire conversation, like, so what brain? And then you just repeat the gag again with Marty Feldman. Sedative.
Now they say in some of the notes that the moment where he says "put the candle back" was the reason why it was said so intensely was because Marty was laughing. And that was Gene Wilder trying to get him to stop laughing, to yell it so loud that he shook him back into the scene. But it put the candle back. Yeah.
It's just a testament to the talent of Gene Wilder that he could basically save a scene, instead of having Mel have to reset everything and.
I don't know.
No.
Gene Wilder says it. Yeah. They both.
I knew she said it.
Yeah.
You're aware of the story how one afternoon he went out and bought 100 white handkerchiefs?
Oh no! Tell me, bought 100 white handkerchiefs.
Right, and handed them out to the crew. I said, if you're going to laugh, shove it in your mouth.
If you're gonna laugh, shove this handkerchief in your mouth because they're shooting on film, and film's expensive.
Yes. No.
Especially black and white film. It was not made in the U.S. back then.
Right. Oh. So this is an expensive per second shot. You got to get it in one.
Well, that's it sums that up.
When you talk about ownership of different products, I was at the Disney Imagineering offices the day before yesterday, and there's a special shop at Disney Imagineering that only Imagineers can buy things in. And there was a bunch of new Muppet stuff in there. And I said, oh, I'm sure sad about Jim Henson losing his studio. And they said, that has nothing to do with us. He owns Jim Henson, we own the Muppets. that was the new president of Disney said that to me. And it's so strange to me, these ownership things, like you said.
Well, it goes back to Children's Television Workshop owns Sesame Street.
Right.
So, yeah, and it is definitely very interesting. I mean, at least with Henson having that disconnect. I happen to like the Happy Town Murders. I thought, again, going to comedy, it's basically if you go for broke, now I'm just not saying can't be problematic, but I have a story about meeting Smashing Pumpkins lead singer Billy Corgan at a wrestling show. Just at a bar having a drink, and we got into a conversation about which Hangover movie was better. And I would say the second one. At the time there were only the two, because I didn't really care for the first one, but the second one is so obscene and goes so far, I couldn't help but favor that.
So what horror movie do we wish would be made into a comedy today? Ooh. Is there another? What do we want? Do we want Swamp Thing the comedy? Do we want? With The Shining, the comedy. Here comes Jack!
Yeah, I mean, to quote Obi-Wan Kenobi, from a certain point of view, I would say you can't go with Dracula because they do it all the time. Yeah. And I think he's just...
Yeah, I love First
Bite. Well, vampires in general. Once Bitten, underappreciated.
The Sparkly Vampire, that was supposed to be a comedy, right?
Oh, God, I hope it was. I hope. Like, that movie took everything it's a competently directed movie. Like, this is I hate it. I will say 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, but I'm reluctant as hell. Like, I had fun watching Death Wish 3 recently for my the 1985 panel yesterday. It's mean as all hell. It's poorly directed. I mean, but kind of, again, the obscenity, the obscene nature.
There's been zombie comedies, right? We have our
we had Zombieland worked. Shaun of the Dead.
Was a
yes.
Comedy.
So I'd say
you still play video games with your zombie buddy, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. See.
I would say you. Warm Bodies I have not seen. Nicholas Holt's always excellent.
Like you said, Bubba Hotep is a mummy comedy.
Yeah.
Right? But is there a werewolf comedy? Is Teen Wolf count? Does
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That is the one that needs to be needs to be. That's the only one I can think of that needs to be made. We tried The Invisible Man, and I can't hate John Carpenter. I can hate Chevy Chase, but
now Chevy's daughter is on my D&D team that we play together on Zoom, so I got to be nice to it.
I worry more.
Invisible Man comedy. It was called School Spirit, wasn't it?
Oh, School Spirit.
Well, the 80s
they were weird. The 80s.
Yeah, I mean, My Best Friend's a Vampire. It's like. It wasn't really good, but I can't help it. Well, David Warner's there, so...
School Spirit's the one that he goes into the bathroom, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, God, now we know things about both of us. Okay. Can't make that movie today.
Well, then I would say you go to, not necessarily, I mean, the television show The Boys. The first episode, you have the character Translucent just hanging around the women's bathroom.
Mystery Men. I can only be invisible when no one looks at me.
Yeah. I think the glut of superhero movies is just taking us away from the concept of horror.
Mel Brooks, you're recording this. Mel Brooks, if you listen to this podcast, he listens to your podcast, right?
Oh,
of course.
Yeah, I mean, you need background noise.
get your son who loves zombies to make a comedy about the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Well, I'm kind of
You're the mummy.
You know, he's a Max Brooks, really funny guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's really written comedy. Like, he's written a Minecraft survival guide and
zombie survival guide.
Yeah. So he's not he's funny just as, you know, subtle concepts. I think that's the big difference. I think if you really the key to what needs to be remade or made into a comedy, I think you just got to throw that at Edgar Wright and see what happens. I don't think he's missed yet, in my opinion. Last Night at Soho is not for everybody's taste, but the cleverness of the twist. But, you know, everybody loves Scott Pilgrim, who's seen it. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. I just don't date the right women. It's my problem.
Swipe left, swipe right. The nice thing about, you know, this Mel Brooks film to me was we could see ourselves while watching it showing up in the space. Being friends with these people, you know, you don't because Dr. Frankenstein stabs himself. He doesn't stab other people, right? He would actually be a pretty good teacher. You know, the Marty Feldman's character is
well, he did stab the guy to prove a point.
Prove a point, but as long as you're nice to him.
Pun intended.
Not intended. Approval point. But you know, Terry Garr's character, you want to be her friend.
Oh no! Aside from the
what hump? You want to be his friend.
Oh, aside from I can't pronounce her name. The horse does it better than I do. Yes. Yeah, she's the only one really in on the concept of let's play God. Everybody else is just cool, going with the flow. It's not like, and you can kind of see yourself in a lot of ways in Blazing Saddles, but you know, yeah, it's a film that forces you though to see yourself in that. No, Mel Brooks does just a great job of like, no, everybody's here just for a hang, essentially. You see it in Spaceballs. I mean, Gene Wilder really needs a friend. That's in the producers. Like, he wouldn't have gotten him in, definitely done something as illegal as that.
Yeah, right. Not on his own. So good. So what age were you introduced to Young Frankenstein? Were you grade school? Were you teenager? Were you college? Teenager? Late teens?
Yeah, early teens for me.
I was in middle school. I was in junior high. I remember my very first drama class in junior high, and they asked us to go find a scene from a movie and make a pantomime of it. And my first scene as a junior high kid was going to get the brain and then riding it back to present it. And so I think that's the age it's built for, right? Is that teenage mind. Why is it? Why does it stick with that mind where we're going through ourselves a transition of who it is we're going to be?
Well, I would say in this case, I don't think Mel Brooks really went for the guffaw laughs until, or at least in my experience with him, until History of the World Part 1, the 80s. Then it's like, no, I'm just going to go for the big laugh, big visual gags. This is and you get that with Blazing Saddles, but the joke, again, with comedy, if you have to be very intelligent with your humor, otherwise it's not going to work. Like, if there's any problematic scene in that movie, it's Dom DeLuise's appearance. But again, if you just like, oh well, there's stereotypes for a reason, like going with that belief.
Mel was great about the dumb gag.
Yes.
Walk this way.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and
in the same way John Cleese was, right? The land of funny walks.
Yes.
Right? Just be silly. Just allow yourself to be. Go there. And and I miss that. I mean, there's not a lot of comedians right now doing that, you know, playing for that crowd in that way.
And I think it goes back to everybody just trying to make sure they make great comedy. They're overthinking things to an extent. Like, no, I want again, I said this, a lot of Mel Brooks movies, you want to watch it with people just to know it's okay that you're having a ball. And I would say this...
It's okay to be silly.
Yeah, and I would say that, you know, the one movie that I've seen that I definitely thought, oh, thank God I'm watching it with somebody, is the Borat movies.
Right.
Like, they are well thought out, the gags and the improv nature. And I don't think anybody wants to take those chances. They just want to make sure they're thought of as smart.
Right.
And that's how we got a glut of Judd Apatow movies, which are great movies for comedians, but I don't think really make it for general audiences. We just want to laugh. Sometimes we don't want to think too deeply into Judd's cancer story via Adam Sandler. So,
right. Sometimes it can just be fun. I remember when I first saw Borat, my friends and I went back to my house and they didn't believe Kazakhstan was a real place. And I had a giant map on my wall that I put pins of everywhere I travel. And I said, no, it's right here. And they truly believed that I had made up a fake map with Kazakhstan on it and replaced the map in my room with it. They didn't believe it was a real place. Transylvania's a real place, though.
Yes.
And I must admit, the other Transylvania one that I like, Transylvania 65000.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about that movie recently. I should have watched it for the 85
Gene Wilder. Gina Davis. And,
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum and Kramer.
Yeah, it's
go watch that one. So good. What do you want to share? Anybody have some core memory about Young Frankenstein you want to share? Yes.
My wife and I, a couple of years ago, went to the stage play.
Oh, the stage play, yeah.
Young Frankenstein, the musical.
Played on Broadway.
I had never seen. I'd seen the movie. I didn't know how it was going to translate to this to like theater.
Yeah.
It is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I was dying in my seat, laughing, like with the roll in the hay.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up the roll in the hay, because we haven't really touched on that at all. The sexuality in this movie, that's another reason why you should watch it as a teenager.
Right.
Madeline Kahn, I think it's a better performance than hers in Blazing Saddles. I mean, it's got more levels to it. But the entire singing, if you watch it as a kid, and I think it goes to my little brother probably, it was a family movie, I'm 6 years his senior, he probably didn't really necessarily get the what the singing meant at the end of the when the shadow fades to black. So,
but yes, the Broadway musical is so funny. I went and saw it. I was stuck in an elevator in a hotel for an hour. And in New York City once, and their way of saying sorry to me was they bought me two tickets to Young Frankenstein on Broadway. So I was both mad and really happy that day. Anyone else have core memories of this film that carried with them? What do you love about it? What do you wish was in films today? What scene do you go back to a lot? The whole thing.
Because there's so many bits that tie together so well. There's so many quotable things from that movie.
I'm amazed at how many people still do the horse noise. So during Halloween, I do a gag where I show different old pictures of people from the 1800s, and I say, "Oh, and this one looks like Frau Bruche," and I get the nay. It doesn't matter if I'm in London, England, or I'm in Hollywood, California, or I'm in Alliance, Nebraska. There's going to be someone in that audience who out loud does the nay. And so what movies do that? That I see this week, next week. They don't have that kind of sticking power in the same way. Okay, favorite quotes from the movie. Who's got some? Yes.
What knockers?
What? Knockers.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, other ones. Yes.
My grandfather's work was doo-doo.
Which one was it?
My grandfather's work was doo-doo.
Yes, good. Werewolf. Werewolf.
I think that going through the IMDb, as I say, doing this on the fly, I think that may have been a howl by Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I think he's got the credit for that.
Werewolf. Werewolf. Yeah. Good. Yes.
Yeah!
Yeah. Did that when they lose the cart, or what's that one?
When
Oh.
Okay, this is a memory. My dad and I, we love watching this movie together.
Yeah.
That part where Gene Hackman.
Oh, Gene Hackman again.
His thumb.
Burns his
on
thumb.
fire,
Right.
And he's great.
Now, if you ever.
My dad and I both crack up on that part every freaking time.
Now, if you ever want to cosplay that, there is a magic trick that does that. It's called pyro thumb, and it's a little fake thumb that you pack a little cotton in and a little lighter fluid, and you can have your thumb be on fire. So, but be careful. Play responsibly. Adults only. So.
What will we throw next?
I'm sorry?
What will we throw next?
What will he throw next?
I don't remember that. Where's that?
Oh, the flowers, yes. Peter Boyle's, you can have Boris Karloff. Peter Boyle was able to emote far more with that, and you could say it's makeup, or you could say Boris Karloff just just didn't have it. And I'm just saying, not saying Boris Karloff wasn't great. The Old Dark House, you can find that on Tubi, any free service. Definitely worth a watch. I think Gloria Stewart from Titanic, or one of those. I guess that's something that the film kind of lacks, is a little, at least in terms of an homage to Universal horror, is a kind of a British sense to it.
Right.
Like, there's not. Marty definitely counts, but he's this is when I think British humor a lot, I do tend to go to the dry stuff. Like, it's like you set it up with the dry stuff and then you knock it out of the park with Marty. I mean, a big Red Dwarf fan, and you wait for the subtleness, and then the big guffaw. While you go back to the original Frankenstein, it's or I would say more like Invisible Man, like, oh, well, this is in London, and Claude Rains, excellent. This movie really is a great gateway. Like, if you like this movie, you're gonna like pretty much most of the Universal movies. I think it's a great gateway, and then I just happen to love the shock when I talked about this, The Invisible Man, on my podcast, and just how dark it actually is. What Universal horror movies were like. Claude Rains casually talking, well, we'll have a few murders, a few rapes, and just to get people panicked.
Right.
And to Victor's credit, he just wanted to bury his problem.
Yeah.
But it really catches you off guard if this is your introduction to the concept of Universal monsters.
But if it's your introduction to this kind of comedy and you haven't seen others, what other comedy must you watch if you like Young Frankenstein?
Well,
Blazing Saddles.
Yes, obviously. I would say The Producers.
The Producers.
Outside of Mel Brooks, I think you could go, Top Secret is the
Airplane. Oh yeah, Airplane.
Well, yeah, I was going with the Zucker brothers and Abrams. I would say Airplane, I like it more than Top Secret, but I would say Top Secret's the better movie, with Val Kilmer. Men in Tights. Men in Tights. It's an excellent one, but it definitely.
I just don't like the reuse of the same song. We're Jews in space. Yes. Here we go defending the Hebrew race. We're men in tights. Mel Brooks just didn't have big.
Yeah, no, I think after History of the World Part 1, he kind of like give me the check, and he was in that. But to Mel Brooks' credit, and we talked about it in the '85 panel about directors who do one for them and one for the studio, and by the '80s, Mel Brooks was producing some of the best movies, at least in the horror element, which ironically. I think he's the guy who gave Dennis, David Lynch Eraserhead. He's the money behind that. He was the money behind David Cronenberg's The Fly. I'm sorry?
The Elephant Man.
Oh, The Elephant. I know one of the David Lynch movies. Yeah.
And I don't remember who directed that, but that was a big...
Elephant Man was David Lynch. So, like, if anything, Eraserhead was, well, this guy's got something. Elephant Man, oh, this guy's an artist. And then we got the Blue Velvet, and, like, this guy's just crazy.
Well, it's time for us to wrap, I think. So if you want to, I announced this earlier for people that were here. If you want to catch my show, I'm doing a mind-reading magic show in the Wabash Ballroom at 8 p.m., and since most of my fan base is in LA and Vegas, I will be surprised if many people show up, so help me. Please tell a friend to come see my magic show. at 8 p.m. in there. And if you don't have time for that, I was just on Inside the NBA with Shaq and Charles Barkley. You can see, just type in Paul Draper NBA, and 10 million people watched it. You can see me there. Where can they find you?
Well, I'm going to be heading over to room 107 for the Last Jedi Masterpiece panel. So in 15 minutes. Otherwise, and then I have the 70s, I think it's a 6 o'clock, 30 years of bad horror masterpieces panel. And then, of course, tomorrow, the one that I know is going to be organized, since I'm the guy behind it. I Did Crazy Flicks presents 90 for Chill, the podcast. I'll be hosting it with my friend Gregory Gatham, and Gathman. He's in the back, and I always just knew him from his Facebook handle, and then it's like, oh,
he's real.
Yeah, had to buy his, buying his ticket. Yes, Gregory Carl is what he goes by. So. Look forward to seeing you there. As I say, I'll be over in 107 in about 15 minutes. And thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you guys for being here. Thanks, everybody. And now we got to go back and watch it and share it with our friends' teenage kids.
Yep, share the content.
Their lives too.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I hear a wahoo?